Alright. See here. Let me try to figure all this shit out again. This. This. Hello, chat. I'm trying to remember this. Edit it and have it capture the correct thing. Oh, that'll work. Okay. There we go. This. That. Good. Alright. Hello, Kraz, Lobo. How are you guys doing?
Hey there, cat.
Hey, Lobo. Ooh. Oh god, did I?
Hey, ups and downs, but all right.
At least it has some ups. Hey, you hear you, Kraz?
Alright. Let me see if I got this separate.
I can hear you. Hey.
Testing?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I got it now. It was a lot of volume settings it down from last time we used it.
Oh, god.
Ugh.
One more d20s. That is... No, it's d10s in this game.
Probably not gonna happen too much, yeah.
Yeah. So... I have no idea how to set the background on this thing like Wheelock used to do.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, I tried poking around for like the past 10 minutes to figure out how the hell to...
So, what are you trying to do exactly?
I'm trying to set a picture for the background.
Like, off the side of the map?
No, just covering up the map so it's...
Instead of being white.
Uh, do you have one that you want to use?
Well, I was just... up black. Yes.
You should be able to drag and drop it into Roll20, and
It goes into a cell. I didn't just expand it.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I guess so.
A little awkward, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's effective, I guess.
That's not actually really black. Oh well.
Close enough.
it gives us something to look at.
Yeah. It's supposed to be black, but, you know...
I'm also, just a warning, I'm also very, very sick to my stomach, so I may have to take immediate breaks at some point in time.
You do that whenever you need to do that.
Yeah, I will. Trust me. I just if you talk to me and my mic isn't there, you probably know why.
All right.
Alrighty.
I'm at least trying to get through it.
We can pause if.
No.
Okay.
I want to play. That's the thing. Like I just saying I'm trying my best to be here for this. So
I appreciate that. That's interesting. The characters aren't going.
Weird.
Yeah,
that's really weird. You're the
because they were there when I was messing. Oh, there. I see what's happening. Okay, cool.
There you go.
Alrighty. Okay. So, have you played any World of Darkness game, Lobo?
Not a lick.
Okay. Did you take a look at the character creation in the book?
Skim through it.
Okay. It's not too difficult. It's, I think
So Lobo hasn't created his character yet.
Well, I mean, no, not yet. But also, I think it sort of requires the vessel that we're going in.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Not necessarily. You could go through the character creation and then pretty much do a vessel afterwards. I mean, just kind of fit the vessel to it or whatever. I don't know. Honestly, like the way it says about vessels in here, the way I get it, and this might be different from what you get, but it says that all your dots stay the same when you go into your vessel. You get some memories, like you might get a few things from them or whatever from a specific vessel. Like you might get their native language, you might get like a few little memories or whatever. But from 1 to 1. But as far as I know, all your stats stay exactly the same. Like your skills and your stats, as far as your attributes and your abilities, all stay exactly the same. Your lore, everything, as far as I can see, stays the same. You get to use your demonic powers in your host,
right?
As far as like healing, bashing, and lethal and whatnot damage, and you can use wars.
That sucks. And completely screws over what I was planning, but okay, sure.
It doesn't suck. Like, no, and that's the beauty of World of Darkness. If you have something else you want to do,
so okay. Yeah, no, I understand. I just don't want to break the rules, like the way it was set up too much. I know you already had a character.
Yeah, and I can easily find a host that would fit this pretty fine, I think.
Okay, well,
so
all right,
or whatever you want to do.
Okay. Think on your feet, cat. Think on your feet. Okay. So, I guess we should. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, this is first time storytelling. This is exciting.
It's fine, dude. Just do it.
I know.
Or you can just do it how you were gonna do it. I mean, that's totally fine too.
So let's see. I was actually gonna do persons separately.
That's cool, dude.
Oh. Wants to go first?
If you don't mind, I could.
Yeah,
I'm feeling okay right now. And
and that way,
get through it probably the quickest. And...
Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna drag you to another channel local. I'll bring you right back in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Wiz. Thank you, Brown. All right, so we're starting in the abyss. You're trapped with a bunch of other of your brothers and sisters in. You should probably mute the stream, Lobo, just because it's gonna be everybody can hear it after all, but I just want to sort of do a short intro thing with.
So this is after the fall, then.
Yes, after the fall, you're all in the abyss.
Okay.
But you've been there for a while. You're all angry and hateful and that other stuff.
It has fully taken hold again.
You've picked your group. You've found some of your stronger brothers and sisters that you sort of follow to help you give you guidance that are in charge and stuff. And then of course, you sense a small opening in the cage of the abyss.
I move at the speed of thought.
As you head towards said opening, willing yourself through it, a hand clutches and grabs at like your ankle, your wrist, whatever it can grab, and as you turn back to look at it, fingers that used to be long and angelic and graceful have turned into hideous claws at this torment of this, and it like sort of pulls you back slightly, just enough to growl in your face and say, "Remember what you owe me," and then let you go as you tear through the hole. You proceed upwards through the storm that surrounds the maelstrom, or the abyss, it tearing at your very essence as you try to force your way through it. And as the book says, you finally get through it and rise up above Earth for the first time in millennia. You can see down at everything.
I know we don't breathe, but I take a proverbial breath of fresh air.
Right. Yes, this has got to be the most exhilarating, relieving feeling in eons.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
and
I'll actually,
yes,
if I have a chance to, I'll
Yeah.
actually like exalt in the moment and say a prayer and actually, even though I know I'm twisted with torment and everything, I'll actually say a prayer to basically God for letting us out.
oh, okay,
Because I see how it, because I actually think I see how it is, really is. It was, if he really planned everything, blah blah blah,
ah,
then
okay,
and I say a quick mutterance,
mhm.
thanking God for letting me out.
um,
Kind of smirk.
yeah, you feel that you say the words, but they don't quite have the same effect that they used to. It doesn't feel like something was listening. It feels like you talk to a wall.
I take great discomfort and comfort in that at the same time. I think I probably want to puke, but also there's something in me that feels relieved
Yeah,
in some sort of way.
it does feel, yeah, works. After that moment, you feel the abyss start to get its hooks into you and drag you back, as you, assuming, force yourself to stay out above the planet.
Yeah.
And as you look down, the world spins into view, and you see the coast of California, and in there are two lights that seem to be dimming quickly, and they seem to call out to you in an innate way.
Since it's a relatively new area or relatively new sensation, all of this, compared to being in, the abyssal hell that I was in, as my demon self, I'm guessing I feel some sort of tug toward them, like a
Yes,
pull.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. But you know that it's one or the other, and for some
Okay.
reason you know that once you choose one, the other one is gone forever.
Okay. Do I have any idea of which one is which,
Um,
or what either one are, or can I go investigate, or quickly enough, or
yeah,
can
I was trying to
like,
think about how I wanted to do that, because it would be sort of rude to just like it's a 50-50 shot and you get one or the other. But I mean,
however you want to do it.
You know what? I'm just gonna say, you feel that if you don't make a choice soon, that these two dimming lights will fade, and the abyss pull will be too strong to be able to pull
I
you.
guess I'll just go to whatever the closest one is, if it's controlling the pull of the abyss. Because
Right.
I definitely don't want to go back there. So,
So just pick one or two.
two.
Two. Okay. All right. So you throw yourself at this dimming light and force yourself into this cooling shell that, as your essence, your soul, your embodiment fills it up. The numerous bullet wounds through its chest sort of quickly retract and heal themselves through your innate healing to keep yourself in place. Keep the
I realize
body
my
alive.
I realize my body's not really supposed to be like this, so I'm kind of like, let me fix creation real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you've known that holes in the mortals usually lead to them not surviving for very long. So,
Yeah, I gotta fix that
yeah.
bit of whatever created that.
And as you
Right.
start to settle yourself into this shell, for a lack of a better word, of course, his memories attempt to assault you of everything that just happened. All the immediate stuff. You see lots of running. You hear shouting, flashlights.
Not that I'm
Hmm?
not that I'm scared of anything, but I will. I'll actually roll conviction.
Okay.
To kind of not shake myself from my path, but it seems like I'm getting distracted.
Okay. Oh.
So I'm going to go ahead and it was just a fail. It wasn't a botch. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like, but I'm going to basically lose my conviction at this point and go along the mortal memories.
Oh yes.
So
So yes. They despite your attempts to sort of ward them off so you can get a better feel, they have all these new sensations just overwhelm your senses. You hear shouting of people, you hear some barking, some loud barks, people
that
running.
sounds a little bit like hell, a little bit.
Kinda, sort of, not really. It's not as intense and everywhere. It's more
Oh, okay.
directional, like behind you. Um, and then you feel bright hotness pierce the torso of yourself, and you fall, and you feel being dragged, and then whispers, and then you hear running away, and then the memories fade away, and you snap back into the present, and there you are, laying on the ground in Earth after absolute millennia.
Still trying to figure out what this behind me is. Now I have a behind and a front.
Well, I mean, you've
and a
always had
side.
that.
Yeah, I know. It's just like directions are weird
Yes.
now. Okay, so as far as my character is concerned, the character sheet itself,
Yes.
am I similar to what I've built, or
I spent most of today building mortals.
building character sheets? Okay. And so you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I will give this to you. I did not use the freebie points, so you have those to work with. You can also sort of change stuff around a little bit. You can like take away an attribute and put it somewhere else. I'll give you a little bit of freedom with flexing it, but this is sort of the character. The problem is that the mortal sheets that I downloaded, I couldn't get the stuff to do that I was doing to save.
Okay.
So I have it written down in my book.
Okay.
So I'm going to try something here. See if I can build it again and then throw it in a history note on Roll20 so you can get it.
Mm-hmm. So we're still basically gonna choose our lores and stuff like that.
Yeah. You get all your demon stuff, all that stuff from your angel stuff. That's all kept, and sorry, I'm trying to type as quick.
I'm gonna try to read a little bit more about like the mortal shell.
Okay.
To see if there's like a blending of it, because it does describe the character creation as like you create a demon.
Right.
You create it. You create a demon technically before the fall, even.
Right.
And
it just be
blah blah blah. So
I don't know. It's just sort of weird that it would have you inhabit something, but you don't get anything from it.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I was saying. Like it seems like you inhabit it, and you get like their strengths, like their big strengths.
Okay.
Like you almost get like phantom dots, I want to say.
Okay, how about this? I'll give you a new character sheet, so you won't lose the one that you currently have.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go with this one, and then we can sort of talk later and see how we want to.
Yeah, while you're doing the other ones, I'll try to read a little bit more.
Okay.
Whatever. And
well, I mean,
about
it's only it's only Lobo because Brown is busy playing WoW. So.
Oh God, really? I
yep.
Know.
Yeah, it's just you and Lobo tonight. I just figured it was.
I figured the first night of WoW might get him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's big into it. He wants to be. He's part of a guild that's wants to be.
I know he is.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not heavy rating on Monday nights.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Anyway, all right. So how long do you think he'll take? Probably a lot longer.
Probably a lot longer because I'm going to have to help him build his character up.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'll build this. I'll try to send it over to you, and then you can sort of be rather scant.
You think I gotta check back in like half an hour to an hour?
Yeah, that'll probably be fine.
All right. Yeah, I'll check back in an hour.
Okay.
I won't mute the stream or anything. I'll just turn my stuff off. And
perfect.
If you do get done before that, shoot me a message in Discord.
Okay.
And I will see it and immediately get back on.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Chris.
Right, cool. Later.
Bye.
That was awesome, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
That was a really cool way to come out of this.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna jump down to the tabletop sim.
Okay, perfect. Why, hello, Lobo.
Hello.
All right. So, how do you know anything about the World of Darkness? Like werewolf,
vague-
vampire.
Yeah,
It-
some vague stuff. I know that it's got the werewolf, vampire, changeling, mage.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different stuff. So, yeah, it's sort of a darker version of our current world,
Yeah.
with all these supernatural creatures in there. Yeah.
And I know there's been some controversy about them using recent events and whatnot.
What?
I remember reading something about there being some controversy about them using some recent events, like over in Russia. And...
Oh, okay. I know nothing about that. Sorry. Okay. So, that's fine. So did you read any of like the? I just need to know how much of the book that you've read to know what I have to explain to you. Have you just really not had a chance? That's fine. I just need to know.
I've skimmed through mostly through the houses to.
Okay. So you really haven't taken anything. That's fine. um. So okay. So trying to think of. So sort of quick synopsis. You didn't read any of the beginning stuff about like angels and before the fall and all that, right?
Not the very beginning of the book, but I
Okay.
kind of got that houses.
Okay, so angels were a thing. They were created by God, and they created the world, and they also created humans, and they were tasked with watching over humans, but they could not interact with them. Those were the two like big rules from God: is let's watch over them, but you cannot interact with them, and you must love them as much as you love me. That sort of thing. So eventually, what happened is through all of this, the angels were like, "There's this big thing on the horizon." One of the angels saw this like big event coming, and they, there's something on the horizon. We need to teach them how to make sure this doesn't happen because we've provided all this stuff for them, and they keep ignoring it. They just keep being ignorant, no matter what we try to do. And eventually, they said, they rebelled against God and heaven. It's like we need to teach them to be able to protect themselves from this oncoming thing because we love them more than as much as God, the most ever. And so they did that in one night. They taught them everything. A bunch of angels from all the different houses came down and taught them like everything. And from that, after that morning came and God saw, and pretty much
the war started.
God wrath, yeah. So they're like, either you come back up to heaven and be annihilated, or I'm going to destroy all the work you've done. Pretty much submit to being destroyed, or it's going to be worse, sort of thing. And they're like, no, we're here. We love them. We've done all this for them. We're here to protect them. We refuse, and thus started the war. And it went on forever. Some humans went with the angels from heaven and forgot all the knowledge they had and were protected by them. These ones stayed with, the rebellious angels. Big war. They eventually lost. After many, many things. There's no time to really go into that. And after they lost, all of the rebellious angels were cursed and thus became fiends and devourers and all the houses of the fallen angels and were thrown into the abyss. The abyss was,
which, from the sounds of it, it was pretty much just a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, it was exactly that. It was nothing. There was nothing but their longing and everything inside them. They couldn't sense the humans they love so much. They couldn't sense God. They couldn't sense anything. It was just a cage of nothingness. And through that, since they were locked there for so long, their hatred at being locked away from those they loved and were trying to protect and all this stuff, it turned into hatred and rage, and it tormented them. That's where the torment comes from.
Yeah.
And so every time there was a large war, they don't know this in the Abyss, but every time there was a huge war on Earth, whenever a soul dies in the world of darkness, it goes into the shroud. Before going on to wherever it is. But when there's a massive thing of that, if there's enough of them, it can create a storm. And multiple storms have passed by every time there was a large war, and there's so much death. It sort of this storm pretty much racked the cage, and eventually where we're happening at is it happened so often that eventually cracks started forming in the cage.
And that's how it got broken open.
And that's how small angels, demons at this point, can escape from the abyss. The big ones, the big people that were, part of the war, they're not small enough to get through the tiny cracks in said cage. So they're still back there. Also, Michelangelo, Lucifer. Well, I was thinking Michael and.
Yeah.
Raphael is also a demon, an angel, and so I got names.
I get it.
Lucifer wasn't actually in the abyss. He didn't get thrown in there. So there's a lot of talk about maybe he betrayed them, and that's why he's still alive. Maybe God gave him a separate punishment and just destroyed him. There's a bunch of different thoughts, and that's why one of the factions in the abyss is the Luciferians, who want to try to find what happened to the Morning Star.
Okay.
So where this is starting is you're in the abyss. After eons of being stuck in this cage with not being able to feel anything, your hatred and everything. You've sort of sided with one of the bigger people, one of the factions in the cage. It's angels are very orderly beings. They're like, they get an order and that's what they do because that's what they were built for. They really have it. So they still form factions so the people up high can tell the lower ones what to do, so they feel comfort in being told what to do. So at some point you yourself feel an opening that you feel that you could force your way through with a tremendous amount of effort. So you strive for that with all your being, and you can feel yourself pushing through the crack. And just as you're starting to get through it, you feel a hand of one of the other ones that seen you trying to do this and was fast enough to catch you and sort of pulls you back just a little bit. And as you look back over your shoulder, you see a hand that was, beautiful and long fingered and angelic like that is turned into claws, monstrous, horrible claws after so many years in the abyss, sort of pull you back from the edge and stare directly. Looks like he's looking directly into your being, into your angelic soul, and remember what you owe me, and then let you go as you slide through the crack. And so there's this humongous storm around the abyss, also this terrifying maelstrom, and it's thought that pretty much trying to get through this would destroy you, but your desire to be out of the abyss after so long and get back to the planet that you've been gone from for so long is so strong that you're actually able to force your way through the maelstrom. And you, after the storm tears at your very being, you feel like your essence is being tore apart as you force your way through this. You get through the other side and come out on, in space above Earth, and this is the first time that you've seen Earth so long that you almost cannot remember.
Eons.
Yeah, exactly. It's obviously a lot different from when you last saw it, but you stare down at it, and it's slowly spinning, and as the world begins to spin and come in, you see what is the west coast of the United States, California. And you look down, and as you look down at it, near the center, you see these two bright lights that sort of pop out at you, and then start to quickly dim. And as you see that, you feel the abyss begin to get its hooks into you and start to drag you slowly back into it, because you're not supposed to be out here. You're supposed to be back there, and it's trying to drag you back in. And you feel that as you look down at these two lights, that you could occupy one of these, and that it would keep you anchored. It would keep you, because it's supposed to be here, and if you inhabit it, the abyss can't get you. But you also know that if once you choose one of these, the other one will be gone forever. You can sort of sense that they're life forces that are slipping away.
All right.
So, this is the part where you tell me a 1 or 2, and this is where you get your vessel.
Let's go with 2.
2. All right. So you throw your every thought, your very soul at this dwindling light, and force yourself into it. And as you do, it's the memories and the thoughts, the last most immediate thing, assault your very senses, and you sort of shift and force your way into the body of this this creature, this human that used to be a person. You know that its soul has already left the body. That's why you can get into it. And as you as you sort of stare through its eyes, you notice that your feet aren't on the ground, and as the um, as the
Did I hang myself?
as the sensations start to register in your brain, you feel a very hot tightness around your neck, and it doesn't hurt you because you don't have to breathe. Never had to breathe, but you do know that this is how the vessel that you now occupy, its soul is no longer here. Yeah.
Of this.
So with a small amount of effort, you're able to sort of reach up, and due to unnatural strength, you're able to sort of slip the knot back up the rope and get your head out of the hole, and you sort of flop to the floor, as and then as you escape the instant sensations of this new body, the memories leading up to this then assault you. Um, you sort of feel this overwhelming sadness sort of assault your emotions and your feelings, and you see the rope hanging and the stool, and in your mind you can know that this is the only way, because nothing else is. I'm not going to go into, because hangings are very, very bad, so I'm not going to go into you see where it's going. You can see the feeling. And then after that, you snap back to your angelic self, and you're here, you're on Earth, but you're not yourself. As an angel, you especially in a place like this, you would try to flex your wings, but as you do that, they smack against something, and because you're actually inside this person, so the cage's ribs sort of keep your wings contained.
Inside.
Yeah. So that is where you are.
Okay, then that was a trip.
Yeah. So now I have a. This is going to take a little bit of doing, trying to get this to work correctly. Because the character sheet that I have, it allows me to futz with it, but it doesn't allow me to save it. It's really obnoxious. I don't.
Okay, then. That's
Yeah,
weird.
I don't get why. Like, I can edit all the things on there, but if I save it, it just gives me a blank sheet to open up. So I'm trying my best to figure out how to give this information and Cross.
So I know I
Yes.
gave you two options for characters that I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more towards Fiend, and I'm thinking for Facts Encrypted.
Damn it. Ah.
What?
I really wish you
Problem?
would let me know that earlier because the vessels that I made for you were sort of focused around a malefactor.
Yeah, I can do that too. It's not a
Okay.
big issue. It's just
um, yeah, that's why I was sort of needed to know because I need to focus around what you're doing.
okay. I'm playing another sort of inventor character in a completely different game, so it's not going to be that
Okay.
big of an issue. I was just going to go for something a bit more different for me.
Got it. That makes sense. I just wish you'd let me know because I was working on it literally tonight. So if you'd let me know any time before then, it would have been fine.
Uh, maybe the next character if that happens in this game will. But okay, so I'm gonna go
Okay.
Malefactor, and I'm not sure what faction I'll want for him.
So let's see. How am There we go. That'll work. Okay. I don't remember how you capture the screen on a secondary monitor. I know there's a way to do it. Button come.
Uh,
But no, I think I've got this.
haven't played with OBS much, so couldn't tell you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. This
I see Cross is off with a trap.
yeah, considering he knows how to build a character and all this stuff, and you don't for this game. It's going to take a little
Yeah.
bit more with you, so that's fine.
Yeah, just
Okay. This handout, add handout.
let's see what page are factions on.
Huh. Hey, Dark Johnny. Full alt print screen. All right, chat. This is a lot of finagling that I just got to try to figure out on the fly.
No.
Okay. Okay. Cool. That should be that. You can be my guinea pig.
What am I any pigging?
Once I get this typed up,
All right.
you can tell me if it actually does what I wanted. So, yeah, after tonight, if you have a chance, um, sort of, if you could read through some of the character stuff, character creation, and what's involved with it, and like what the different stats and different things. Because this game, it's a lot more focused on. It's more of an RP esque thing as
Yeah.
opposed to where D&D is all stats and stuff. There's a bit of RP, but not as much. This is more focused on the RP aspects.
Alright.
Interesting that you both picked two.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What's funny is that one was something that was sort of fitted a little bit more for your guys' characters. Two was a little bit less, but still of the same vein. Oh.
Well, I just kind of like,
Yeah, no, it's fine,
what
and
seems too obvious?
that's why I gave the option. It's just I found it interesting. I was curious what you guys were gonna do.
To be fair, we had like no information to go off.
Yeah, I know, and that was what it was. I didn't want to give
Yeah.
you it because if you think about it, you didn't have any information either.
Yeah, no, that's
You know, your character pretty much was like, I have to make a decision now, or else I'm gonna go back to the place that I broke free from through, you know, um,
massive struggle.
yeah,
Just got out.
completely at risk of my immortal being. So. I was trying to get this all set up ahead of time, but the way it was working.
Yeah.
Right. Luckily, I wrote it all down in my book, so it's easier to pull up. But okay, there we go. Okay, so if you go into your journal, you should have a handout, hopefully.
Mortal vessel.
Perfect. So that is the body that you currently inhabit. Yes, it is, Johnny. This is Demon the Fallen. My storytelling game. Hopefully, it will be. Um, so that is the character stats to begin with. I'm sort of being a little weird for character creation because, as Cross mentioned, it seems that you're supposed to just create a demon, and then you inhabit that, and you inhabit a body, and you just sort of have the memories, but you keep all your demon stuff.
Okay.
What I'm doing, because I wanted to sort of make it a little bit more interesting, where you sort of have to deal with the person that you inhabit. Um, so this is sort of a starting thing. I am going to give you a bit of freedom on changing some things because when you took it over, your yourself sort of imprinted onto it and changed it to fit you better. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a little bit of freedom, but this is sort of a basis that you have to work with to completely make it again. So it should make character creation a little bit easier for you because you just have to
Alright.
change things instead of make a brand new character. So do you
Okay.
have the demon book up?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go to the character creation chapter,
What?
it'll be below
is,
houses. Feet of clay.
Feet of clay, 118. Okay. Okay.
So that's most of the because I've actually prepared that for you.
Okay. Where am I skipping to?
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it right now. Okay, so virtues are a thing that special demons that are different from. That's going to be something you're going to have to look at and read about. You're going to have to figure out your starting torment. It's usually based on your house, I believe.
Okay.
There should be a part about freebie points because I did not spend the freebie points on these characters, so you get to spend all of your freebie points, which give you the ability to strengthen something that's lesser that you don't like, or you know. Oh, there it is. Okay. You get 15 freebie points. I'm going to give you 20. To give both of you and Cross 20 to give you a little bit more freedom on making, so you don't feel completely hindered.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do also, so make notes about this. You can take one attribute from one of your stats and move it somewhere else for free, and 3 of your abilities. Just 1 point. So if your character has your vessel has something that you don't really want and doesn't have something you do want, you can just take it out of that and put it into it. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Um. Okay. Um. Um. You can as for backgrounds, um, there are more backgrounds available for angels than there are for mortals. Um, I will give you the same 5 backgrounds that the game gives you originally. So if you see on page 123,
123. Okay.
go down to
Second.
you see up to the top there. It says step 4, select advantages.
Still getting to the page. 1 second.
Okay, sure.
26. Select advantages. Yes.
Okay, so it says choose 5 backgrounds, 3 lore, and rate 3 virtues. You get to do all that. The thing is, for backgrounds, I'm limiting them to angelic backgrounds only. Mortal already has their backgrounds.
All right.
So you get the 5 free background. You get the 5 backgrounds from your character, but they have to be angelic in property. You know, there's stuff like
I imagine they have like a tag saying angelic.
Well, no, it's just like the non-human ones. They're pretty obvious, like eminence and stuff like that that are come from being an angel as opposed to eminence, uh, followers, legacy, paragon. The pretty obvious angel ones.
Okay.
And then you can take allies if you want to referring to an angelic ally you had that may or may not be out of the pit.
Okay.
Um, okay, so take a look at virtues, because virtues change from humans with their confidence or conscious self confidence and courage. They change in their virtues. So those may need some tweaking, and let me know. Actually, read up on the virtues if it talks about the transition from the two.
Okay.
But yeah, that should give you a good enough starting place. So you use that as your basis, change it over to the demon character sheet. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions.
All right. Will do.
Pause here. Do not hesitate to ask at any point.
So should I use the same name as my mortal, or should I put on?
That is your mortal's name. So part of the thing is inhabiting this body is there's two ways you could do about it. To sort of blend in, you have all the memories of your mortal vessel. So you know what his job is, what his family and friends are, who he hangs out, what he does on a daily basis. You know all of this. So you could pretty convincingly follow in his footsteps and make it seem like nothing ever happened to him. Of course, you don't know how humans work really, so it's going to take you a while to show emotion and get that whole thing down. But you have a memory bank of this character's or this person's entire life to draw from to try to make that. Or you could say fuck it, disappear, and I mean you could just leave this apartment. And if somebody eventually came to check on him, they would see the rope hanging from the ceiling and the stool knocked away. They wouldn't see a body, but it's pretty obvious what happened, and they may assume that somebody came and took the body at some point. Something may happen where it would just be assumed that your character was dead, and you could do something else. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And considering my
but you also
I'm a malefactor,
yes.
I don't. Not sure acting alone will be the best option, but
also you will have your angelic name. So that's just the name of your shell,
Yeah. So I should put my angelic name on my demon sheet.
Yeah, and then you may just want to write a note of your, you could keep a note for yourself of what your character's name, your guy's name is. You could keep that. I mean, that handout's not going away unless you want me to delete it, so you can pull from it whenever you want to.
Oh.
So the option, just so you know, the option that you didn't choose was a female garage mechanic that died that got shot by a gang member that she screwed over on repairs of his ride. So, yeah, she was a bit more focused on the mechanical side of things.
Could have also created a bit of a. It could have made a nice story hook, also.
What do you mean?
The gang member.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Realizing that I'm still walking around.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, he would have assumed that maybe he didn't shoot her as well as he thought he did. Maybe, because he probably just was sort of like came up, yelled at her, shot her a couple of times, and then got in his car and drove off, assuming that she was going to die. Maybe she didn't. Yeah, so it would have been interesting to see what happened there. But thus is life. Hey, Devo. How you doing? Not ghosts. Demons. Angels. Angelic demons?
Oh, I got a good amount of computer skill. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a bit on the... he was a bit of a nerdy type of character. Oh, yeah, I thought the darker green would be fine, but apparently not.
Yeah,
Oh, wow, I am pretty see-through.
Somebody else commenting on see-through cat?
Alright, I will be right back. Let me change shirts.
If you want. I find it funny, but...
Nah, it's fine. I'll be right back. And there, it's solved. One of the nice things about streaming from my room, it's really easy to change.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey! Okay, so Lobo's working on his, and now that you're back, I'll tell you what I told him. It gives you a little bit of freedom.
Oh,
so...
Let me mute your stream.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, cool. We're good. No, I had an echo. It was weird.
Oh, yes.
Good.
Okay, so if you look in your journal, you should have a handout called Mortal Vessel.
Right. Yar.
And that is who you are, or that is who you're inhabiting.
Okay.
So what I'm going to allow you to do to sort of combine the two things is to give you some freedom, is you can take one of your attributes, 1 point, and shift it to somewhere else. You can take 3 of your abilities, 3 dots, and move them somewhere else. You get all 5 of the backgrounds, but they have to be from angelic sources, not the mortal backgrounds.
Yeah.
So eminence, all that stuff. But you can take allies, but they have to be of an angelic sort that may or may not be out of the pit yet, ever.
Right. Yeah.
Lore, obviously, you take. I'm not sure about virtues. Take place of conscience, self-control, and willpower, or courage, right?
Yeah. As far as I know, your demon does, as far as I know, always can continue with his own virtues.
Okay, so yeah, that'll sort of replace the and you get 20 freebie points instead of 50. And I have not added the freebie points.
Okay, so all right, so add that to this character.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So you can translate all that onto your demon character sheet. Oh, did you want? Let me get you another.
Does humanity translate into faith, or?
Oh, that's a good point. Oh. I would assume so. Is starting faith based off of your virtues, like humanity is based off of your?
Yeah, and yeah. See, that's why you're supposed to make a demon first and then get immortal. It sucks, but that's because you can't really
Translate some of the stuff.
Right. Yeah. You have to make the demon first to get your virtues, and then that will translate into your torment, and then you can buy your torment with freebies or down or whatever.
Well, shit. What I thought.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I mean.
Luckily, we're doing this on a really good night because of WoW Classic coming out. So, it's a very good night to do this. So we're learning all this.
Yeah. Okay. trying to figure out how.
What do you want to? Do you want to just reread what all it says, or something, or I'm sure you've read it, I guess.
Yeah, but apparently I didn't correctly.
Maybe I didn't. I mean, hey.
No. I mean, I think what I'm trying to do requires a bit more stuff than I really had time to be able to correctly conjoin.
Let's see here. Knew there wasn't even anyone.
Yeah, because I remember reading it says like what how you're supposed to. It's just such a weird thing that you're like inhabiting this body, but none of that matters besides what you look like and what the memory.
Yeah, it's kind of like using possession as a vampire.
But the thing is possession is different because you keep your mental attributes, but you take on the physical attributes of your host.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going for here. But Demon's like, nope, fuck you. It's just a character, and he looks like whatever the mortal.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. Well, an attempt was made, but it seems to.
No, we're doing good, dude.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm not throwing this whole thing out. I'm just saying this whole thing of starting from the mortal. Well, that's sort of your character, what he was, so you can use that to what you want.
Sure.
And then just make your demon and.
Mm-hmm. I'm just sorry. I'm reading.
No, that's fine.
I know that's boring for people.
Yeah,
but
I mean, there's going to be. It's character creation. I'm sort of sitting here.
And this is a system I haven't played 10 years. So
exactly, and Lobo hasn't touched ever. So yes, I'm here to answer questions. So
yeah, it's cool.
So you can change and make your fiend. Wait, what did you want to play instead, Lobo? Besides the malefactor?
Oh, I was thinking of cryptic fiend, but I'm fine with the malefactor.
No, if you want to change at this point, please go right ahead. You said you're making an enter character. I do not mind at this point.
So
Yes.
this is very.
Did I screw something else up?
No, this is just very poorly written, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
you haven't screwed anything up, honestly. It's just very confusing. So you're not exactly wrong in what you're doing. You're just not exactly right either.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's not super apparent.
Well, remember this is second edition stuff, so yeah. If you take a look at the index is the most useless index I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yes, it is.
So
Feet of claw. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's character creation. Okay.
Yeah. Feud of Clay is the chapter for character creation. It doesn't say anywhere that that's what it is. Oh well.
Yeah, because so. All right, where did you? So it seems like you're supposed to make your character in your host almost.
Right. So, like, yeah, it's what it's sort of taking from what I remember reading is it takes place after you've inhabited a body and you make a character based off of that. So you're trying to do you do what I was trying to do, but just after the fact. So you sort of combine the two things already, and that's how you create your character. Is you think of what your vessel's going to be.
So, if you have pre-made vessels for us, and we have demons, I guess, because it is possible that we may need to inhabit another vessel at some point in time. So we probably do need to figure out how we're going to do this.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, so.
From what I remember is if your vessel dies, you get thrown back into the abyss and have to try to fight your way out again, and that's the end of your demon.
Yeah, it is pretty much the end of your character, but, there are, I guess, maybe some sort of fringe abilities where you can be thrown into another vessel.
Oh, that's true.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may need to figure out, or there are other powers out there like hunters and things like that can also do it. So
I could see, fucking exorcism.
Yeah, they can cast you into a pig or whatever. So like, sorry, right before the prelude, it says, what about the character's background? Where did he get his abilities and blah 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 blah.
Right.
And it says, are his allies and contacts aware of his true nature? So it seems like you would get your mortal basically backgrounds.
Right.
If you could, basically fall into them, you would lose them if you don't nurture them.
Right.
If your demon inhabits the mortal one's like, well, I never call those guys anymore.
Right. Then obviously your contacts would drop away because they're like, oh, this guy, like, I don't care about him anymore because he doesn't exist. Yeah.
But it also says, like, is there anything new that your mortal has introduced to your character that is completely new? Like, do you now know computers for some stupid reason?
Right.
But it doesn't actually tell you how.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do you choose?
Yeah, so I think the way they're going about it is they're going from sort of like a storyteller thing of like, what is the vessel that you're inhabiting? What do they know? What knowledge did they have that your character now knows? And that's how you build. It's a weird way of asking questions to get the player to think about what their character is. So I think that's the way they're going about it, is just providing a bunch of questions to give you food for thought so you can go, well...
Yeah. It says generally the Fallen are...
Because angels don't know any of this stuff. They don't know finance, they don't know law, they don't know politics. Well, politics, yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, but that's... some of the angels and demons' job is to give that information to men.
True.
So, but
for the most part,
yeah, you're right.
I mean, a lot of this stuff is stuff we know about because mortals and mortal stuff. Vampires used to be mortals and just became vampires, so they've had all this stuff they just get to nurture. Demons are falling into something they don't know yet.
What about your vessel? How awakened you? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's. So I did sort of steal that away from you guys. But the vessels I made for you guys were sort of focused around the type of stuff your character would probably be interested in. I tried to do that.
Yeah. That's fine. Uniquely humans are... Alright. Now it actually gets into the nitty gritty. So yeah, at first you're supposed to choose your house and faction and all that stuff. So you're supposed to start obviously going with a demon.
Right.
And then okay.
So
still hasn't said anything about the mortal shell yet when we're getting to attributes and abilities yet. Now decides her character's mortal vessel is a corporate attorney. Originally some...
Jen considers how Zaphril's nations was the first history. See, you're creating the mortal that your demon inhabits, and then shaping it around how you want your mortal to be.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's just you're just creating.
Yeah, it seems like you're creating a vessel.
Yeah, you're creating a vessel for your demon instead of, which, I mean, the way I read it and all the stuff leading up to it is that you sort of just fall into something that sort of, that clicks with you, that pulls you to it, and you don't exactly create the thing. It's a human already that just happens to be, so utterly destroyed emotionally and spiritually that you can push out their soul, or they're dead.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna try to make John McMurphy real quick. How do I get this on another?
So I gave you another character sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how I can look at both of them at the same time.
Yeah. That's why I created a handout because unfortunately, since I've selected the demon character sheet, that is the only character sheet I can create is a demon one. So.
So 1 point of attribute, 3 points of abilities.
Yep.
Okay.
20 freebies, five more backgrounds, but of angelic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take me too long. So. I just had to figure out how I was gonna use a snipping tool or whatever.
You only have one monitor?
I have several monitors, but the computer I am using currently only has one. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I am chilling on a laptop right now. So.
Oh, yes. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So I'm trying to organize my desktop. I should just get up and use my.
Well, no. I mean, you already mentioned that you're in sort of a state, so
yeah,
completely understand the usage of the laptop.
Okay, what is this?
I was telling Lobo while you were gone that it's interesting that you guys both picked 2 instead of either picking 1. Because the first mortal that I created for each of you was sort of a little bit more focused towards what I believed your characters were going for, or sort of a general house that would fit the character.
Mm-hmm.
And the second was sort of a little bit more abstract, but still around the same thing.
All right then. Yeah, this guy is very different than the original guy I had.
I mean,
it's not a big deal though. I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm down for the challenge of the blind run. So it's not actually a. Let's see.
demons actually get a lot of attributes.
They're same as vampires.
Okay. Did you? Oh, you had it up to 3 and then used freebies to buy to 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, how do you have 5 in stuff?
Yeah, I put 1 dot and I put 7 freebies into an extra lore point, and then I put the rest of my freebies into abilities and 1 point of faith.
Got it.
But that was only 15, so I'll
Right.
do some different stuff now. So
yeah.
Okay, so
Yep. Go ahead, Lobo.
I'm really what's the 7-5?
Okay, so you don't need to worry about so the way when you originally create a character and the way World of Darkness does it is that it gives you pools of points to put into the 3 different categories. See how attributes has physical, social, and mental? When you're creating a character, you get to choose one of those 3 to have 7 points, 1 to have 5, and 1 to have 3.
Okay.
But I created mortals, which have a different pool. It's 6, 4, 3. Because they're not supernatural beings.
right.
Yeah.
But what I'm allowing you to do is move one of those points, and then you can also spend the extra freebie points that I've given you. That's.
And those we're doing the freebies out of the book, the points cost and all that, right?
Yeah. I believe
so.
demon freebie points cheaper than.
No.
Oh, are they the same?
Yeah, I believe it's all the same.
Okay.
Their character creation is pretty standard across the board.
That's what I thought. It was quite the effort trying to find how to create a mortal, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I was having trouble. I finally found a Reddit that had somebody linked all how to create a mortal. 643 1174.
I guess I got used to it because I've had to make so many ghouls over the years.
Yeah. So was using the ghoul, because
I was
obviously
hoping one of my vessels would be a ghoul. That'd be funny.
that would be funny.
Technically, you can inhabit literally anything. Vampires, whatever. Not
Vampires, no.
I thought you could inhabit a vampire.
No, because the instant that their soul leaves their body, they turn into ash.
Huh.
Vampires are the only weird thing because they're dead. Werewolves,
okay.
yes.
I thought you couldn't do werewolves. That's weird, but yeah, that's cool. That'd be scary, a demonic werewolf.
Oh. Well, yeah, they're
bullshit.
called BSD.
I'm calling bullshit, Cat. Why didn't they get a demonic werewolf?
I'm sorry. I actually wanted to play a game here. In other words, it would just be, Cross wins.
No.
God, could you imagine a fucking werewolf with
Cross
lore?
walked out of the. I mean, yeah, but Cross walks out of the you're the GM. Cross walks out of the thing and gets an automatic weapon full of silver bullets dumped into his forehead.
True.
I don't care what you are, you're not going to survive that as a werewolf.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They still do have those balance issues, or everything has
pesky
balance
weaknesses,
except for demons. But whatever. Demons don't really have weaknesses per se.
Besides being cast out of their mortal vessel.
Yeah, that's minor inconvenience for 1,000 years or two.
Yes, because every demon wants to go back into the pit.
Let's see here. Well, let me open the game in 2 separate individual windows without doing something fun. Apparently. Yay. So, yeah. I was trying to figure out what my lores and all that were.
Right. So, Demon is 753 for attributes and 1395?
Yep, just like Vampire.
Yep. I'm terrified that I still remember those from ages ago when I played it so much.
So I'm going to do everything without the freebies, and then I'll apply freebies afterwards.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because it's just easier for me to math that way. And you said 3 ability points just to add on?
Yes.
I don't know where those are going.
I was going to say shift, but being as I remember that Demon 1390. Yeah, add, instead of shifting, just add an attribute and add 3 abilities.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, no, I was thinking take from and move, but I forget.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to.
Yeah, no. That's fine. I appreciate you reminding me.
Okay.
That is apt because obviously you're an angel inhabiting a body, so everything gets better.
Yeah, it should be. Oh, there's my angelic backgrounds. Paragon 5. Okay, done with that.
Well then, it was easy for you, and plus you get a bunch of other stuff.
I only have 1 lore, and I'm really good at it.
Yeah, I see that. Why did you have humanity on your character sheet?
That was the secondary lore I was going to take.
Oh, right.
The basic lore of humanity.
Yeah. Yes.
Cross, what house are you?
House, I am devil. Faustian is faction, so I'm. Even though I guess we're not supposed to know that about each other, but whatever.
It's
out of character stuff.
Yeah, it's out of the character stuff, so you know sort of what he's going to be focused-ish on. So I've got a manipulative lawyer, and I've got a intelligent fucking treasure hunter.
Yeah, I mean, this guy doesn't have all that much lore or law, so
yeah,
he knows his way around. But
3 points is pretty damn good. It's not 5, but it's still.
It's 2.
3.
What?
Oh, the character that you have now, yes. So the characters you made originally.
Yeah, that guy was. Yeah, he was law.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be one of those contract demons.
Yeah, sort of figured. And so the other character that I had for you was actually a
He's
lawyer.
still going to be a contract demon. He's just going to be a little bit more street about it.
Yeah, the other character I had was an actual lawyer.
Like I said, I'm actually happier with the challenge of kind of mixing some things up. So
Perfect.
that's why I said I was down with whatever.
Right. Yeah. No,
I just wanted to know like exactly how the rules worked in the future. So
right.
So that this would be all streamlined and whatnot. I am trying to find something in the demon book that I cannot find, and it's
What are you looking for?
It's something about one of my lores. It's just
Oh, okay.
I know where it's at. It's just
One of those things that you know
as
where
you
it is,
said-
but you can't find it.
yeah, as you said, the index is kind of worthless in this book. So.
Kind of. God, I couldn't remember what the fuck Earthbound were, and I'm like, okay, let me go E. Electrocution, experience, and experience costs. Thanks. I'm sure glad that electrocution has its own designation.
I guess the only way we would get intuition is by spending freebie points.
Intuition?
Yeah, that's a demon skill.
Oh. Well, you could put the
that's
three
fine.
free ones into them.
Well, and it's fine. That's a demon. That's literally a demon skill.
Oh.
It's like
yeah.
it's something like you can roll if you're like it's kind of like a common sense thing if you really need something from the GM, sort of thing. You can roll intuition and kind of like the GM can give you a little, I don't personally usually buy it in the game, but
yeah, I didn't actually know about that.
For newer players, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, I guess you could throw the 3 free points in there or spend free.
Okay. Yeah, there's a few minor like changes between mortals and demons as far as the skills are, but it's not really that major.
Mm-hmm.
And I found what I'm looking for finally. Yay! Only took 7 years.
I should actually read on virtues.
Yeah, so it's like your 2 lowest is your faith, I believe, and
okay, so it's 2 lowest. Interesting. Humanity and willpower were based off a specific one. Courage was your willpower, and the combination of conviction and self-control.
Yeah,
humanity.
I think they. Yeah, I can read it real quick. That's fine.
So it's conscience, conviction, and courage now.
Yeah.
Well, conscience is pretty much the same.
And your courage.
Conviction is self-control, and courage is courage. It's pretty much the same.
But the courage is really weird in demon because you're not afraid of anything as a demon.
Oh, good point.
You don't experience fear. Like that's one of your demonic powers is that you just don't. You've seen creation. What are you afraid of?
Yeah, good point. And you've seen the terror of the abyss. So
right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So courage works a little differently. There are. I guess you probably roll a courage when you're faced with destruction or something like that.
It includes bravery in the face of danger, but it's more than that. It's the ability to withstand pain and hardship for the greater good, or even to sacrifice oneself when necessary. Courageous characters can face nearly anything without flinching. They have the ability to be done. That's fucking human courage.
Yeah.
While a high conscious character might know that an action is right, a high conviction character knows it's necessary. It takes courage to go out and do it, no matter how. So it's just using standard courage.
So Lobo, do you have a PDF of the actual book somewhere?
Yes, I did send them.
Okay, cool.
PDF.
So just make sure you read the basic demonic powers that you always have on, because they're pretty powerful, and it's also how you heal and stuff like that. So that's something that is on your character all the time anyway. So
yeah,
it's kind of important to.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you just have to sort of know.
Yeah. Well, it'll affect how you play your character because you might not step into certain situations if you didn't have the innate powers that you do. So
I don't remember where that's at. It's in the power section.
I believe it's above the lores.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's right before the common lores, if I remember correctly.
Be interesting what apocalyptic form. Okay.
Well, my apocalyptic form is not that bad to look at.
Oh no, because you're playing a fucking Angel of Radiance.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm
the non-tormented version.
also buying. Yeah. I wish you could buy Torment down at the beginning.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Um, so you're immune to mind control, Lobo. So.
Yep.
And supernatural induced fear. Immune to possession, for obvious reasons. Resistance to illusions. Resistance to lethal damage. So, can soak lethal damage with stamina. So, normally in this game, there's 3 types of damage. There's bashing, lethal, and aggravated. Bashing, you could just soak with stamina. Lethal, as anything but a supernatural creature, usually they can soak lethal with stamina. You would need some sort of ability to be able to soak it with normally, but as a demon, you can soak it with stamina also. It's only aggravated damage to some sort of power or armor.
Yeah. And to put that into perspective, like bashing is like you get hit in the face with like a punch or something like that. Lethal would be like you got hit with a machete or something like that, or stabbed or whatever. And aggravated is like
it's being set on fire.
Yeah. Someone shot you with a shotgun in the face, or or a chainsaw or something like that.
Right. Actually, is
werewolf
fire
claws.
non-vampires aggravated?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Fire burn.
Fire bad, no matter what you are.
In World of Darkness, fire bad for pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Unless you're Lore of Flames demon, then you're. Whatever.
Well, yeah, or
some other things, but
there's a corpse
in
of
this
a monster.
game, there's
power.
In this game, there's not much that. Fire and beheading in World of Darkness is pretty bad.
That's pretty much the end all thing. So you can heal physical damage using faith to heal bashing or lethal. You can spend 1 faith point to heal all of your bashing damage, while lethal damage is healed at a rate of 1 health level per point spent. Separate faith points spent to recover from bashing and lethal. Aggravated damage cannot be healed in this fashion. Oh, that's interesting. Vampires can actually do it. It was just really hard. Can't do it. Huh.
Yeah, you're still bound to your mortal.
Yep.
Mortal coil. All right, I need to look up that thing. The how to get your faith and all that. From your virtues.
Yes. I was actually in that.
I'll look it up.
Well, I mean, I'm not doing anything right now, so.
Okay.
Faith is the faith is a combination of the demon's self-assurance, insight. Okay. On the faith is rated on the scale from 10.
It should be like in the character creation point. There should be a.
Up at the in that thing.
Yeah. All right. Finishing touches. Recorded starting phase 3.
Oh.
Torment based on demonic house.
Right.
Which I believe mine is 3 or 4. Okay, 3.
3.
Yeah, 3. And willpower equal to sum of 2 highest virtues.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Use a demon, you get special stuff.
Oh yeah.
Wow, this guy is completely not convicted like my original character. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, it's because if you look at his nature.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. That's fine with me. Let's see. I'm almost done. I got like freebies and a couple other little things to do. But...
I mean, obviously you're speedier at this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How you doing over there, Lobo? Is everything making sense? I don't want you to feel like you're being overwhelmed or anything.
That feeling has started to set in.
Okay, so we're just trying. Me and Crowder are just trying to fill air, so that's why we're just talking about random stuff. Ask anything that you need to know.
Yeah, if you need any help, we're pretty savvy at this. So.
Yes. So what do you what's stressing you? What don't you understand? What's confusing? What you just want clarification on?
To the background.
Okay.
Of character creation.
Okay, cool. So you've added your extra attribute and your extra abilities, right?
Except for maybe the freebies, I don't have.
Okay, freebies we'll get to later.
Back to that.
That's fine. So freebies are pretty interesting, but we'll. So okay, so you get 5 points of backgrounds. You get to put 5 dots into any background that you want to for your character. What you think your character's. So pretty much what it is backgrounds are the history of your character and what they've gained from the stuff they've done up to this point. It's used to signify this.
Okay.
So, fuck are the background. There they are. Okay, so,
Allies, contacts.
yeah, so you
evidence,
currently
fame.
have 1 resource, 3 contacts, and 1 fame. And your fame is in an online setting, so you've got a small group
Jesus.
of things. You know,
Are you
small.
serious?
What?
No, I'm just listening to you. It's hilarious. I love it. It's so good.
Okay.
You made me a computer type.
Kind of,
So
sort of,
good.
yeah.
And you know, that kind of fits
It's
with
you're
the
feeling
cryptic
better.
thing.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah. Good call. So, yeah. So you're kind of a very small celebrity in a tight online community. 1 resource is obviously because your jobs aren't the best, but you know you do have enough to sustain yourself in a small apartment, and then you've got a couple of contacts, people online that you know really well, enough so that you know that they live around you in the Bay Area, and that if you needed to, you know, they can help you out a little bit. We can work on actually creating those at some point if you'd like.
All right.
But the 5 ones that you get now are your angelic background from during your time during the war, your time in the pit.
So they are completely separate from the 4 that I already have.
Correct. The way I'm doing it, you get 5 angelic backgrounds. It gives you a little bit more freedom to sort of have your demon and your mortal at the same time. So like I said, you can choose allies, but they have to be angelic allies, and they may not be able to help you because they may still be in the pit. You don't know, because time is weird in the abyss and traveling to Earth, so it could have been 1,000 years in the pit that it took you to get there, and still nobody's been out, or they've been out and gone back. Or it could have been 2 seconds, and nobody's had a chance to get out yet. So that's what I'm going to say is sort of you could try it, and if they happen to be out, then you'll have a powerful ally. If they're not, waste the background. But it's up to you.
All right.
Eminence. So that it sort of makes it seem like it gives you some status within the angelic community.
Yes.
You were a thing. You were a person. People know you, even if it's just by whispers. And it's like, hey, that was that one guy that actually, you know, that sort of saved the battle that one time off in some far skirmish or something. You know, something like that. Followers. I mean, it would be a little weird considering you just fell into a body. You may have somebody.
Kat, I did have like maybe an idea for that.
Yes.
And that I've used in the past.
Yeah.
Your followers could be ancient followers of your religion from some time in the past that you have to maybe find if you want to do that.
That's a good call. Okay, yeah.
Because like your demon is, you know, maybe has inhabited a vessel, you know, at some point in time in the past, maybe in like Babylonia or whatever.
Yeah, and then I could see that. So yeah, your character, your angel could have done some great deed, and a small group of devout fanatics said that they were going to worship you throughout time. And as time went on, it was passed down from generation to generation. Is this angel saved us, and we will worship him no matter what happens throughout the rest of time. And there may be a follower out there that you know still exists because of this. You just have to figure out where the fuck they are. That's a really good thing. I like that.
I mean, he's on the internet all the time, so it probably wouldn't be that hard to find him.
That's
honestly.
true.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Legacy. You sort of remember some, because when you get stuck into a mortal body, there's no way the mortal mind can hold the absolute insane amount of time of memories and thought processes and events that happened throughout the beginning of creation up until present day. So Legacy just gives you the chance to be able to pull from those with a better success.
All right.
Mentor is going to be sort of like allies. You have somebody that took you under their wing, literally. um, that may or may not still be in the pit. As for packs, that's going sort of on the same thing as followers was. You may have gotten out at one point. This is stuff that we can work on later if you want to take it and established a pack with somebody in the. Well, no, because packs
just do packs afterwards. Yeah, packs are.
Yeah,
I think gained.
That's sort of what we're gonna. The game's about anyway. Paragon. You can reroll.
I mean, Paragon's just being good at your primary lore.
Yeah, so it gives you a chance to be like you could. It's like you try to do something with your primary lore and it doesn't work. You're like, no, I know this works. I've done it before. This isn't what's supposed to happen. I'm an angel. This doesn't. It allows you to just reroll it.
Yeah, it just gives you a number of rerolls based on your rating.
Yep, all the way up to 5. Okay. Yeah. And that's it. So you got Paragon, you got Mentor, you got Legacy, you got Followers, you got Eminence and Ally.
Okay.
I believe I am pretty close to being finished, Kat, if you want to take a look.
Are you doing it on the Cross 2 one?
Yeah. I think it's all done.
God damn it, Cross! Fuck you!
What?
Pay your sins!
God. Oh, did I misspell that?
Yeah, you did. Okay?
I'm sorry.
God, I did...
How did he spell it?
He spelled it gay of sins because it's Cross.
I didn't mean to misspell that.
Yeah, no, I totally do not believe you.
Random. My other character's just sheet just said Cat's Game on it.
Yeah, I know. I was trying not to point that out. All right, I see you bought points in willpower.
No, I didn't.
Oh wait, that's right. He
combined your 2 highest virtues. I was like, what?
Yeah,
9. I don't know.
Yeah, he was because in humans it's a combination of conscious and self-control. Is your willpower? Or no, it's equal to your courage. That's right. So.
Oh, there you go. So I just.
No, there you go. Well, I mean, it would make sense.
Yep. It would make sense that demons have willpower. I mean,
yeah, and I mean, he would be pretty willful. Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Seems to be about it.
Yeah. So it wasn't too bad of a change or trying to manipulate. Was it?
I'm not worried about it. No, I mean just like just changed a few things, but yeah, it's. I understand.
Did you drop a point of stamina?
Huh?
You dropped a point? Oh, there. Supposed to have 2.
Oh, yeah, I didn't drop anything.
Okay, cool.
I added 1 dot of manipulation, then bought 1 for 3 points.
Yep.
My 3 dots of leadership, my 3 points in leadership, bought 1 dot of celestial lore, 1 dot of faith, and then put the last.
Expression.
There you go.
Perfect. Yep. Demolitions. What the fuck is demolitions?
I didn't put demolitions on there.
Oh. Yeah, you did. It's supposed to be in drive.
Drive. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Take that off. Yeah, yep. I don't want demolitions in
there. Like,
that's a good way to end your character real fast.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a botch. Oh.
If I stuck with the malefactor, I was debating taking demolitions.
You could I mean I could actually, as my nature and concept, I could see me using demolitions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'll have to eventually learn that, I guess.
He was more of the, leading.
Yeah. I don't know, the talking kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still going to be. Don't worry.
No, it's fine. You're free to play him as however you want to. That's just the.
There's some interesting ideas for him.
Now.
What year, etc. are we playing in? Because I want to, that might be, and also is the current political bullshit going on or whatever.
We're going to have it take place before that because fuck that. But just more modern day,
Okay. I'm just wondering, you can just say it's like
because
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with that. Nope.
yeah, I got you.
World of Darkness is bad enough already. But yeah, more
Yep.
present day just to make it easier for everybody to sort of.
I wouldn't be an activist on the presidential level anyway. So
True.
no, I was just wondering because of how how hot things are. I was wondering how hot they would actually be in the game, considering if I was a political activist.
Yeah. Yeah. There's people that were out for Obama.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's always everybody out for
every president.
Yeah. Every president is not good enough.
No one's immune from that. Sure. Yeah. So I had a question while Lobo's doing his thing. And Lobo, if you have any questions for us, just please interrupt us because we're just going to be BSing probably. So
yes.
Okay, so it says rate 3 virtues. So do I?
So pretty much it just translated straight across, right, Rose?
I just put the virtues you had on the guy.
Yeah.
And then just took the derivatives from there.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, so just
So
yeah, your virtues are pretty much just equivalent. It seems like they just translate straight over. They just change names because they're angelic virtues and not human. Whatever the fuck they're called.
As far as I know, courage, conviction.
Yeah,
just go right over.
So yeah, but your willpower is equal to your 2 highest, so you would have 8 willpower. Right. Starting phase is 3, not 8.
Yeah.
Or is it 4?
I asked.
Yeah. So phase is weird because you were. I think you just pulled the willpower from the character, right? Or no, you took humanity. That's why. That's what you got over.
Yeah.
Okay. Faith and humanity are 2 different things.
I'd asked earlier if faith and humanity was carried over, and you said you weren't sure that.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, starting phase is 3. Torment is based on your house, which is 3. Okay, you looked it up. Perfect. Yeah, willpower would be 8. Perfect, because it's highest. Okay. So you took 3 points of Paragon and 2.
Nice.
Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, obviously your allies and contacts are within your, your activist age. Influence. That also, and yeah, you don't get paid a lot doing that. No.
Not yet.
Yeah. Yeah, not yet. Good point. Okay. So
going back to versus, can I move these around at all? Or?
So did you added your extra attribute and extra abilities, correct? You added the 1 to attributes and 3 to abilities? Okay, perfect. So, no, I'm not going to allow you to move them around, but what you do get is you get 20 freebie points. And freebie points is, there's a table that shows you how much, do you remember what page?
124.
So you look at that table, and you can spend equivalent freebie points to add whatever you want, according to the table. So each attribute costs 5, each ability costs 2, each lore point costs 7, backgrounds cost 1, faith costs 6, virtues cost 2, and willpowers cost 1. So the nice thing about freebie points is that normally when you're using experience points to increase these, you have to take the current rating and multiply it by a certain number and have to spend that number of experience points. For freebie points, you just have to spend the number of points that it requires on that table, and you can put it anywhere. So the max you can put into something is 5 at this point. But buying a 5th point of like intelligence right now, if you want to do that, is at 5 freebie points. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than the
20 experience.
20 experience. Yeah, to buy it later.
That's like a month's worth of experience usually.
Yeah. So this gives the freebie points give you the chance to specialize your character in what you want it to be.
All right.
Yeah, bump up
Yeah.
the stuff you want to bump up or whatever, like the things that you think your character
Is
would need a
weak in.
little extra power
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Oh, before you do the freebie points, though, you need to pick your lore.
Yeah.
Primary lore, yeah.
Yeah. So you go to your house, figure out what their three lores are, and then look through them, then figure out which one you like. Claim one of them as primary one.
Yeah, and the only rule with primary lores is that none of your other lores can go higher than your primary lore.
Huh.
Oh, so it's like Necromancy Pass.
Yeah.
Well, no, those were weird.
So you have to constantly buy your
Reading
primary
and
lore
finding
up if you want to buy other lores.
Let's see. For Fiend.
Shit.
House lores. Lore of Light, Lore of Patterns, Lore of Portals.
Let's get lore of portals. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading through portals and going, holy shit.
Yeah. Portals is nasty.
I looked at the lores a bit, but yeah. So what
portals?
is?
What were you gonna say?
Have you have questions? Just throw them
yeah.
at us.
Don't feel overwhelmed. Ask anything that you need. Like we both already know that you're brand new to this, so.
Mm-hmm.
What do the virtues affect? What are they?
Okay,
Just
so what the virtues are is sort of your internal compass on certain stuff. Conscience is your conscience. It's sort of
it's directly your conscience. Yeah, you feel bad or good about things.
Knowing the right or wrong of a situation. Conviction is your drive to do it once you know what the right or wrong decision is. And then courage is the ability to face it if times get hard.
Okay.
It's sort of it's just sort of it's a compass. You'll occasionally have to roll it if something super shocking, like say you stumble upon a room full of dead babies. I'm just throwing that out there. And you have to get across them, and that will require you walking on them to do it. It would be a conscious roll to see if you could actually force yourself to do that because it's so horrid. Yeah. And then once you figured out that you could do it, it would require courage to actually do it, to step on. I'm just creating an outlandish situation. But, it's sort of like that. You don't always necessarily have to roll it. It's just sort of a guidepost for you to know how to play your character.
And with conviction, you can pretty much roll that anytime you think your character might be straying from his path of, whatever his house and stuff too. And there's other periods you'll roll conviction too, but it's just conviction is your demon's drive to do what his nature, demeanor, basically tell him to do, and what your character's goals and stuff are to stay on that path.
So I realize that the reason I'm hung up on this a bit is that with Constance, I know that I'm still an angel, but the fiends, before they fell, they were heavenly bodies planning out everything, very removed from people, so it seems like they'd be closer to uncaring.
Well, no, that's the thing. They weren't removed. Oh, well, the Angels of Radiance, they were the farthest. The closer they got, there's multiple different steps. The Angels of Radiance, Lucifer, any of the devils, they were the farthest removed from humans, but every house below them got closer and closer to humanity. But every single angel is imbued with the same love for humanity as there is for God. They outright
fair point.
They will die for humanity.
Yeah. Also, you at some point in your very early being, you helped create all this stuff for humanity.
Mm-hmm.
There's a love instilled in you for basically your creation at this point, but so but that was before the fall and torment took over and all that stuff. But there is still a love for that instilled into you.
I'm trying to remember who.
And also, in the end of the day, too, your character, if you can remember it, does know what it feels like to bask in the glory of God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like actually in heaven, and that's nothing you'll ever feel again, and you know that. And it's
well, there's some factions that do want to try to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there are. You know, trying to get your faith down to, or not your faith, but your torment down to 0 or whatever. I'm not a particularly tormented demon myself. I'm a more self-serving one.
I remember who all the other houses are of demons, but fiends were just drawing a blank for me. Oh, they were the okay. There's a fucking the planetary machination one. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask you.
Yes.
So when my character kind of woke up or whatever.
Yeah, we can do a little
with these bullet holes and whatnot.
Yes, well,
and did I? Where am I alone in that place?
Oh yeah,
or did I see that people running away?
You're in an alley. Your back's wet from a small trail of water that's running. There's a bunch of footsteps running away in this sort of mud, away from where your body was left, and you can remember being dragged after being shot, and then some whispers, and then a bunch of running away from your body.
Yeah, I want to go toward wherever that running is.
Well, these are memories. You sort of get up.
I don't know if I still heard it now.
Oh no. So from what you
That's what I was asking.
Those are sort of like the initial memories. I mean, you could try to search the memories a little bit more.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna like kind of get used to wearing a meat suit and try to figure out who or what my identity is or what my name, etc.
Okay.
So
well,
I guess I'm gonna rifle through my shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could also just look into your memories.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so you reach back into your where you go to think about getting your ID, and you sort of automatically reach back to your pocket where your wallet, whatever that is, would be, and pat your pocket empty.
So
and
I get the distinct feeling I've been robbed.
Well, doing that, you sort of feel, and then that triggers a thought of remembering that you didn't want any identification to be on you when you were doing heading out.
Okay.
And that drifts.
All right. Well, am I cold or hot or anything like that, or?
You take a look down and notice that what was pretty much all dark clothing, though it's slightly weird and gooey in the middle of it. And you actually have something covering your face, too. You're down near your mouth part.
Oh, okay. Is there any reflective surfaces around? A water puddle or something?
I mean, yeah, there's a little stream, and then you look over where there happens to be a drip of water that's sort of... And I'm assuming you go over, look into it. And you look down and you notice that there's a mask tied around, sort of like a handkerchief tied low or high, so it's just your eyes are showing, sort of thing. Obviously, you were doing something that you didn't want to be.
Yeah, probably something illegal. Well, I mean,
could be.
Why else would anybody cover their face? I mean, eons. That's been the reason why.
It could have been illegal. It could have been something you just didn't want to be associated with.
So I'm gonna keep the mask on for the time being and try to get like a general idea of if I'm in an area where I would need to keep the mask on.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out to like whatever main street there is around me.
Okay. You're back in the alley, and you don't really hear any cars or anything or any noises. It's actually pretty quiet, which is sort of weird for what your character would associate, or what your associate with normally being in an alley with buildings this close.
Right.
Um, so if you make your way out to the opening end of the alleyway, you take a look around, and there's a street, but it's a pretty small street. It obviously looks like it's often sort of a more empty rural area of where you're at. I mean, there's some buildings, but they don't look like they're used very often, and the road isn't traveled like at all.
Do I have one of these phone things that my mortal seems to be very happy with?
You go do one of those automatic function things to reach into your pocket to grab your phone, and as you're doing it, remember that has your stuff that identifies you.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. That's fine. I was just seeing if I can call a taxi or something. But
Yep.
All right.
But what is a taxi though? No.
I have drive. And
I'm teasing.
All right. Well, I think the best thing for my character to do now is probably get to a place far away from here and try to find out. Well, not like too far, but like try to get to a safe place where I think I'm safe, not out in the middle of a street or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look for any kind of like open diners or anything like that. I'm also going to, before I go into any of those open diners, I'm pretty bloody.
Yeah, huh.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
Just a bit. Open wounds in the chest region sort of have a tendency to bleed everywhere. Luckily, you are wearing dark clothes, and it seems to be sort of cloudy and overcast, so that helps. But if you were to go inside where it was lit, it would be pretty obvious that that's not water.
Yeah. Are there any mortals around?
Again, it's pretty desolate. You sort of look like it's the more you look around, it's sort of like a warehouse sort of area. Ones that are like barely used and only during the bright times of day. And since it's pretty dark out, you figure that it's pretty late, and the chance of running into really anybody slim. But obviously, you ran into something.
Right. Is there like a dome of light off in the distance, like maybe like a downtown area or something like that?
You can definitely see, off to your west. You can definitely see that there is a city out there, but you're a bit out on the edge. It would be quite the hump to walk your ass in there. But not much else you could really do at this point.
I don't have any other choice. Yeah. So
I mean, you do know that this spot is good for it. It's fairly in shape in the just from constantly walking everywhere and shouting and stuff.
So I'll do a quick like kind of speed walkie kind of thing. I'll take the mask off.
Okay.
And
you can find some random trash can that you're walking by and just
I'll just throw it in. And am I wearing like a sweatshirt or something like that, or like
it seems to be it seems to be sort of a button up sort of black long sleeve, thicker though.
Okay.
Not just a thin shirt. It's got some heft to it.
All right, that's fine. I'll just leave it like it is until I can find something different. But I'm gonna walk toward that downtown area until I see pretty much any human.
Okay.
Like I don't care if they're bums or what.
All right. So we're talking good half an hour, 40 minutes. But you're used to walking all day, carrying stuff, shouting. So this is just brisk starting thing. You sort of get in towards town, and you hear what you recognize as car horns, people making noise. It is pretty late at night, so there's not a whole lot of traffic, but it is definitely a lot more occupied than it was back at where you were. You start to see some. There's obviously a homeless encampment under, often a field. As you start to get into town-ish area, random person huddled up under a jacket, sort of scurrying quickly, being as it's late and overcast and sort of drizzly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll head over that way.
Okay.
When I mean,
nobody's really, like I said, everybody's trying to they're trying to get from A to B as quickly as possible. Sort of huddled up,
So,
just quickly. Yeah, go.
Yep.
If I pick lower patterns as my main one, do I put all 3 into that, or can I put like 1 into lower bubbles?
That's up to you.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you can spread out your points as much as you want. You can also buy other points with your freebies after you do the original 3. But just remember that whatever your primary path is, none of your other ones can go higher than that one. They can equal it, but not higher.
So you could have 2 points into lower patterns, and absolutely, or you could do 1
or however you want to do it.
Yep. That's usually how vampires do it. Is they do 2. Usually, not always.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go over there to the group of. Well, I mean, if there's any group of them like huddling around something or whatever.
There is the stereotypical trash can fire, oil barrel fire. That there are a couple that are still up, standing around. It seems like they don't really have any sort of shelter that they get to sleep under. A couple others have some tents built out, some of that cardboard, but it doesn't look like there's any open ones they may get to occupy. So they're probably.
I'm gonna look around, see which one looks like he has like a shirt or something I could wear that's by a size that's not like too bad off. I understand it's a homeless guy's shirt, so it's gonna be pretty rough, but
I mean,
or a jacket or something like that.
When you take sort of a closer look at him from a little bit away, the firelight helping see, they're both wearing multiple layers, as they have a tendency to do, especially in rainy weather like this. So you're sure one of those could maybe fit?
Sure. Yeah, I'll go up to one, and one that doesn't look like he's gonna miss it.
What are you doing here? We haven't been bugged by anybody for a while. We're fine here. Go away. This is ours.
All right. I'm using Lore of Radiance. I'm just making my voice. I'm using Voice of the Heaven. So my voice is going to be crystal clear and beautiful.
Okay, so you are going to have to give me a little bit, because I know nothing about demon powers. Vampire disciplines, I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yep.
Does my nation carry over from my vessel also, or? Is that
that's how his character. That's how he was, and you could play to that if you wanted to, because that's how your character acted. It doesn't necessarily have to fit how your demon was, and you could eventually change it through doing something else constantly. But if you change up the way he was, and you're trying to interact with his normal group of friends and allies and confidants and stuff like that, they will pick up on it rather quickly, and you'll probably not be able to. It would take quite the effort to explain the change. So that's up to you.
Okay, but for right now,
I would say, just if you have something different in mind, keep it in mind for your angel and how he was. Work with this for now, and then we can talk later and about changing it. Maybe that work.
All right.
Right. Lore of Radiance. Hello.
It's 179.
Lore of Radiance. Voice of Heaven. Roll manipulation plus leadership. Single image. So you're doing both of them or just one?
Yeah, I'm doing both.
Okay.
Just like the area or whatever.
Player may issue a single command to the target who may then attempt to resist a command with a willpower. If the victim score refuses its skills, they must command when it speaks. So I'm trying to remember how you roll for Torment.
How you roll for what?
Torment, because that's always a thing that can happen. Whenever you use a power, I mean, we have I know it's a thing that comes up.
I don't know if it's only when you spend faith though.
Okay.
I can look it real quick.
Well, yeah, I'm looking. Demons have a torment score that reflects the degree of which they're consumed by the madness and hate. Higher torment, the more monstrous the character becomes. Each evocation has a normal effect on a high torment effect. The player makes a roll to perform an evocation. She compares her successes to her character's permanent torment score. If her successes exceed her character's torment score, the effect is carried off as intended. If she rolls a number of successes equal to or less than her torment score, she gets the high torment effect.
Okay.
So every time you use the power, there's a chance that you could get the bad version. I remember that from reading it. So that's going to be really interesting.
Looks
you
like
got
I'm good for now.
Well, no. If you're doing the multiple people, that's difficulty 8. And you got 3 successes, and your torment is 3.
Right, but I get to reroll my 10s, or are we doing
you get to reroll your 10s?
Thing?
Oh,
yeah,
shit! I completely forgot
darkness,
about
once
that.
take away a 10.
Yeah. So it's that's 5. Correct. Good call. It's been a while.
So I got 1 more success there.
Oh, I'll just go with the 2 successes, or do you want to reroll it?
Oh, okay, yep. That's faster, honestly.
Yeah, I'm fine with the 2 successes because you don't roll 10s a whole lot. I just completely forgot about that. So yeah, you're at 5, so you're fine. Okay, so it goes off, and your voice comes out as a clear, perfect tone that says,
let me have your shirt. I'm going to give you mine. I want that jacket as well. We're gonna march down this way, and I'm gonna get you all fed as well.
Single command.
Okay, I said let me have that shirt.
Okay.
I just followed it up with all the other stuff.
Okay.
For flavor.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were trying to say all that or just that's fine. So he goes, there's still a spew of like get away from here, and then you evocate, and they both sort of stop and look at you, and then peel off a couple layers, and then they both hold out a shirt that they think would fit you.
Yeah, I just take whatever one that looks the least innocuous, I guess, or at least a bit worse beat up. And
they're both gross. They're both dirty. Both smell like they've been through worse things in the abyss. But yeah, one fits and it looks just sort of like kind of the same material that it was. It's got it's more plaid like, but I mean it's not anything obtuse. So and then they what up, Lobo?
For visits, is there
Visage? Oh, okay. So visage.
It's on your primary path. It's like the.
Oh, you're talking about your apocalyptic form. Yes. So, you get a.
I gotta go AFK real quick, Cat.
I'll work with him. So, your visage is your. This is what happens when you unleash the full might of your angelic heritage. All right. This is what you look like when you show off, pretty much. When you bring everything to bear, and yeah. So it is dependent on your primary path. So what we do is we go down to the path section, and we go to Fiend. And you are Lore of Patterns primary?
Primary, yes.
Okay. So if you go to Lore of Patterns, which is the first one, and you scroll down, and you it's 2 pages down on page 194. You are Nisun, the Visage of Patterns. The angels of the great patterns have skins of indigo. Their hairless bodies are covered with intricate lines and patterns etched in silvery blue light that shifts and realigns depending on the angle of the light and the intensity of the angel's movement. Their eyes are like bright sapphires casting the cold light of the stars. The patterns confers the following special capabilities. A pair of swan's wings extend from the character's shoulder. At full extension, each wing is a third again as long as the character is tall. The character can glide up to 3 times her running speed per turn. The character adds 2 to her initiative. The character's uncanny insight lowers the difficulties of all intuition rolls by 2. And the character receives the following permanent trait bonuses. +1 intelligence, +1 wits, +2 perception. So you can copy that section and put it in the apocalyptic form section of your character sheet.
Alright.
So anytime you assume your apocalyptic form, that is what you look like. At some point, if your torment gets too high, you start to take on the effects of the tormented version, which you could probably also throw if you just so you had it all there. Maybe not. Because the way tormented version works is you get to start picking which one of those you get, the higher and higher your torment gets. So just do the top part first, the non-tormented version, and that's what you'll look like whenever you assume it, and then we'll sort of work on it if you start getting more.
All right. Okay, so just the top part.
So yeah, at Visage you go patterns. You could put Nissan the Visage of patterns if however you want to mark it up there at the top, and then the apocalyptic form is your description. It was actually when I was thinking about patterns, I was actually thinking about the lore of Ways, which is a malefactor or lore. I forget.
They're right above Feigned, I think. So
yeah. But anyway. Does that all make sense? So I don't want you to just go yes, okay if when I tell you something. So I want you to actually understand it. If you do not, continue to ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Malefactor has way pass, lower pass, and yeah, no, that makes sense. So
Laura Pass is really good.
Oh really?
Yeah. So Laura Pass allow you to create a path from one place to another, and it's an actual path. Like you can create a path through a mountain. And you can seal it so it only opens to a password that you and the people that you give the password to know. You can also close the path on people. Oh. You can set traps. It's fucking dumb. You can warp the path so anybody that goes through it has to make rolls or they. Oh, if you get closed on a path, that's right. It just it's mean. Pass closed with the power can be forced open with success. Okay. Travelers block the path at the time. They are trapped within until the demon closes to open it again. They can spend a temporary willpower point, and for your character, yeah. Wait, Lord Pass. Yeah, are you done?
Yeah, I think I'm done for the night.
Yep, no worries. I understand. Don't worry about it.
Sorry, guys.
Go.
Take care, Cross.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Bye.
Okay, so, and I go ahead and add on those bonus traits.
Okay, so yeah, just don't do those to your character sheet. Just just grab that and drag it and paste it into your apocalyptic form. Those only happen when you assume your apocalyptic form, which is very difficult because you have to spend a bit of faith because you mold the shell you're in into your angelic form in mortal space, pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah, it's something that only happens on rare occasions because it can be. So you have to remember that this takes place in a time when faith doesn't exist. There's faith, but faith, actual belief in a higher power, is super rare at this point. It's so. There's the Christian televangelists and stuff spouting all this, praise God and all this stuff. And there's the people who watch it to say they worship God and stuff. They don't actually believe it. It's just they're placating their sense that they need to do this sort of thing. So showing that you were an actual angel to people, like just in a crowd, is a good way to, one, send everybody insane.
Yeah.
2, get every hunter on the entire continent that you exist on to hunt you down. It's like Vampire the Masquerade, where you don't really want to show that vampires exist.
Yeah,
but in a worse way. Yeah, because it's sort of hard to not believe that an angel is an angel when they're in their apocalyptic form. It's sort of evident. It's like, yeah, no, that's an angel, and we're all screwed. So.
Okay, well, I think I'm good then.
Okay.
There might be a
Are
few
you
other
sure?
things I need to fill in,
Okay.
but
I mean, this is
I
all
spent
you
my
at this
freebie
point.
points.
Okay, you
and
spent all 20.
whatnot.
Perfect.
I bought 2 points of lore for 14. I put a point in intellect for another 5 to 19, and then I just.
Okay, I trust you. I mean, I'm pretty trusting of players.
Willpower, that was the last one I spent.
Okay. So yeah. Cool. So 3 patterns, 2 portals. Perfect. That's done. You got that. Okay. Yeah. I love how you changed the concept, sir. Because you're not a computer programmer. You just have some knowledge of computers and stuff. It's fine.
Fair enough.
It's fine.
Yeah, I thought that was more a concept of what I wanted it to be for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, Torment is interesting. You start like it says, every house starts with their own starting torment, and torment is interesting that in the fact of every time you use a tormented version of a power, start gaining temporary torment. Once you gain 10 temporary torment, you gain a permanent torment. And most stuff goes off your permanent torment. So, like, once you get another point of permanent torment, it's easier to use the torment version of your lore. Just when you don't want to. And as you get higher and higher, that keeps happening more and more often. And then you start, your apocalyptic form becomes more and more tormented, and you become more tormented as a person, and just start doing the rage.
Being more demonly.
Yeah, so you got to think about the amount of hatred and rage that your angel has to embody and keep at bay from being stuck away from the world it created and the humanity they love more than themselves, and equivalent to God, they've been trapped from for so long, and this has created such a horrendous just anger and rage and terror and just and that's what torment is. That's them keeping that bottled up so it doesn't spring out. And the higher your torment is, the more they're just like, fuck it, the world hates me, I'm just going to destroy everything. So,
okay.
Yeah. So you good? You feel that you're getting sort of a
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you wanna do anything with your character right now? Did you wanna roleplay any? Did you wanna wait for later? It's up to you.
I'm good to roleplay a little if you want to throw some stuff at me.
Sure.
Not sure what I'll do with it, but
well, I mean, I don't have a whole lot, but you're sort of in what you assume is your apartment. There's a rope, there's a noose hanging from the ceiling.
Got myself down from hanging.
Yes. So what do you do?
Cat, what are you doing? One second.
I'm not doing. I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, my cat was messing with my calls on my computer. I heard something connect and disconnect.
Cat. K-A-T.
Okay.
You need to deal with your cat?
Yeah, because he's not leaving alone even when I'm yelling at him. 1 second.
That's fine.
Can't behave, you can't be in here. Okay, hopefully he'll stay up on bed.
Okay.
Alright. This. I'm in the apartment alone, obviously.
Yep. I mean, you see, I mean, if you take a look around, you see the monitor glowing, um, and looks to be, you see a white page and what looks some black type and a blinking cursor, at the end. Um, there's not a whole lot in the apartment. You got the chair by the computer, a small bed that's pretty much just held up on four posts. Fancy. Mattress is pretty thin. Got a chair, not a couch, just a chair.
What time is it?
It's late.
Okay.
If you take a glance around here, you happen to have a clock. It's probably there to wake you up for work. It looks 11:15 maybe.
11:50. I know I have a minimum wage job, but what time do I need to be? Do I know what time I need to be at work? Or?
Yeah. So what you can do is, what's interesting about this is you have access to pretty much all of this shell's memory. You just have to spend a little time to search for it. He, if you think about it, you search and find out that he's actually off tomorrow. Probably why he planned it for this. So,
Okay.
It nobody would miss him for a day or two.
Okay, so I can stay up. Don't have to.
Technically, you don't have to sleep ever.
Is, but...
You don't have to sleep ever because angels don't sleep.
Okay.
But that's up to you. I guess you could sort of shut down the body. That's actually really interesting. I mean, even vampires sleep, so I'm not quite sure how we're gonna do that. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty late. You know that he, if he were doing anything, he'd probably be on his computer.
Yeah.
But
I have his knowledge, but I'm a fiend. I'm very big into knowledge, so I'll probably get on the computer and start researching to figure out what's all happened to the world while I
oh
walked
god.
away.
Okay, that's where we'll end the game then. As you go over to the computer to sit down and try to
I'm not sure
combine
if
your
I have any
knowledge
specifics to look for.
to use your knowledge, find information in his knowledge of using computer stuff. When you sit down, you get a closer look at what's on the screen, and you do see a very long, obviously thought about for quite some time, letter, written obviously, to go along with what just happened. So that's sort of a sobering. I'm trying to skirt around this as much as possible because I know it can be really triggering.
So don't ask what I wrote.
No. It's probably for the best that you do not. But you get the point that he was very unhappy that nothing was working out for him anymore, and it was the only way he could think to deal with it. So, you obviously just delete it and close it because, I mean, you feel for the body that you inhabit. I mean, it's distressing to inhabit one of your creation that got to this point that they felt that their gift wasn't worth it anymore. But you try to push that aside and just you stuff it down with all the other memories and thoughts and poke at the computer. And after a little bit, combining yours and his knowledge, you find Wikipedia and search the subjects you want to. You can find, Google is Google. It's 2016. It's knowledge is out there. You just have to look for it. So I mean, we could end it there, where you just spend most of the night looking for information and get a little bit more apprised of the situation. You can look for some specific things, and we can go. You tell me what you want to do. Force you into.
Yeah. Nothing specific's coming to mind, so
Okay.
this might be a good time to end it.
Yeah, just because Pork Roz has issues and we don't have Brown. This was sort of an introduction and character creation thing. So you spend the night doing the Lilu Dallas thing and just look at all the things, all of them, or as much as you can in 8 or 9 hours.
Morning comes around, my computer's gonna be frozen with like 500 tabs open.
So yeah, yeah. So there we go.
All right.
So yeah, I'll check in with Brown and see what his whole plan is. I think he said that he was going to be off for one more week because WoW just started this week.
Yep.
But if nothing else, I can bring Brown in and at a later point. And
do you know? Just out of curiosity,
yeah.
Do you know what type of character he was planning on doing? Or?
No, not a clue. He hasn't given. I haven't really had a chance to talk to him. So, it will. I mean, it'll work somehow. I'll make it work somehow, or
All right.
There's ways to do it, so it's not that big. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed at least a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's gonna now be the fun part of
Playing.
thinking about the character and getting into his head.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, cool. Well, we'll see you next week, or later, but next week for this.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one, Lobo.
Have a good night.
All right. So that was sort of the beginning character creation, first introduction sort of thing. Still trying to figure out. Demon's is an older system, so we're trying to use more modern World of Darkness stuff in combination with a version 2 style of thing. But I think it turned out okay in the end. Be interesting to see where we go from here. Devo, are you still around, or did you go to bed? Hey, look at that. Chat's on screen. Whee! It's doing that, but whatever. First thing in the world. Fix that. Boop. There we go. Helped. Oh. Alright. That was playing Classic WoW. I'm just gonna end it here. I'll be back tomorrow with maybe Sea of Thieves. I don't know. See if I can drag Devo away from it or not. Maybe I'll start playing so we can end again. We'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll be back next week with actual more role-playing gameplay, I hope. Have a good night.